And this is what you get for it from the Democrats. You get, nobody voted for Elon. Well, nobody voted for any of your cabinet nominees. Okay. People are dying because of Doge cuts. I'll give you a chance to respond to all that. What Doge is doing is illegal. Elon Musk is more street vernacular for a male body part. It's a constitutional crisis.
Okay. Why are they reacting like this?
Well, first of all, do you give it flying rip? Or number one, and
well, I guess we must be over the target or doing something right. You know, if like they wouldn't be complaining so much if we weren't doing something useful. I think. But what all we're really trying to do here is restore the will of the people through the president. And what we're finding is that there's an unelected bureaucracy. Speaking of unelected, there's a vast federal bureaucracy that is implacably opposed to the president and the cabinet. And you look at, say, DC voting, it's 92% Kamala. Okay, so we're 92% Kamala. That's a lot.
They don't like me here either.
I think about that number a lot. I'm like 92%. That's basically almost everyone.
Yeah.
And so, but how can you, if the will of the president is not implemented, and the president is representative of the people, that means the will of the people is not being implemented. And that means we don't live in a democracy, we live in a bureaucracy. And so I think what we're seeing here is the thrashing of the bureaucracy as we try to restore democracy and the will of the people.
Yes, Cackling the View is freaking out after this video. According to them, Steve Bannon just revealed the theory Trump is using to exhaust the system. This will forget something. This is Trump's second term. The first term, Trump did not know exactly how things are done. Before coming into power now, he knows exactly what he is to do at a given time. That is what these people forget to know. Steve Bannon said, in fact, let me not repeat that because you heard that. The View is now freaking out like this is what they were talking about until they went into a dictionary to read out the meaning of that flooding zone. It is crazy. Before we even go into this full video, I want you to first take a look at these people are furious.
You know, I was expecting some corruption, but this is beyond what I could even ever imagine. So my spouse and I were taken back a notch today. And if I'm honest, we are pretty much perpetually pissed off about it. And I don't care if you woke, awakened, or damn near comatose. If you have a brain cell left in this little head of yours, you would be upset too. Because what I'm about to tell you affects all working Americans, regardless of what side the aisle you own. Republic, I think you can, or demon to the crats. And I say that because I know the Democrats' hands are in the cookie jar, but there's a few Republicans' hands in the cookie jar as well, and we know that to be true. You see, people of America, we have to hold everybody accountable. Anyone who's lacing their pockets with our tax dollars needs to be held accountable. So, with that being said, today we were watching Life, Liberty, and Levin, and the report from Doge came out on Social Security. $50 to $100 billion in waste and fraud. Payments being sent out to Social Security numbers who are attached to dead people. Some payments being sent out to people who are 150 years old. It is safe to say these people are dead and pretty much made themselves comfortable in the dusty earth, if you know what I mean. Now, if you are part of the working class, this needs to concern you, regardless of what side of the aisle you sit on. For the people that's going to say stuff like, oh, well, you know, in the government, there's always a little fraud. You're like those little fires in California that got out of hand. We don't want no little fraud. But in this case, this is huge fraud. And this is a direct slap into the working class face. These people are robbing the American people blind. Why don't everybody care? I know many of y'all are young right now and y'all think y'all will never, ever, ever get old. And maybe the way things are going in this life, maybe that's a good thing. Only because they are robbing the future elderly people. And if you don't think that's criminal or even downright from the pits of hell, evil as evil does, then you deserve what you're getting. But my prayer is that God continue to use these people to expose this evil and wicked system, these evil and wicked bureaucrats and politicians that smile in your face and robbing you blind behind your back. These people are still the nickels off a dead man's eyes. That's an old saying. Go look it up. They're evil and wicked, and God himself is using these people to expose them. We want our money, Nancy Pelosi. We want our money, Chuck Schumer. We want our money, Elizabeth Warren. And we hear Mitch McConnell acting real brand new. We want our money, Mitch. We call for term limits because the longer y'all in power, the more comfortable you get mismanaging the American people money. To steal from the nation's most vulnerable. Social Security, that's our future. Will any be left for us when we turn 65? Probably not. It'll be in your pockets while you're vacationing and skiing and running amok with our money in your back pockets. Time is up, you dirty, dirty people.
Yes, this report is still to be published. I saw this today, like foreign nations use, I don't know if scammers are using that system to extract money. I would do a full segment partaking to this so you can see exactly what is going on. What this lady said on this clip is nothing but the truth. I have seen it. When I watched that video to a certain point, Elon Musk actually shared our information. About 40 million people have seen that. Imagine someone 200 years old is collecting money. A lot is going on. People still blaming Elon Musk and Dodge. These people need to wake up.
Put up with it.
Well,
and by the way, egg prices are supposed to come down, not airplanes.
Well, let me say someplace that could really use a lot of cutting. Elon has very many what do you call it?
Government contracts.
Yeah. I think, because I don't remember, maybe y'all heard it, but I don't remember looking for an armored car.
And
I don't remember, I don't care what it looks like. I don't remember asking for it. I don't know why I'm paying for it.
Yeah.
I want to know, when did I say, hey, we need another agency next to NASA?
Yeah.
So when did we start paying for his stuff?
You're talking about SpaceX overseeing FAA?
No. He's going to be cutting NASA.
Yeah.
That's the competition. So what is the real deal here? If we want to cut some money, let's cut some of these. I'm okay with that. Because we have to pay for it.
But the fact remains that they're making anyone who voted for Trump look like a racist. And that's why they're mad.
But we've got to start with muzzle velocity, doing it all the time. Trump term is he didn't really know how things worked. And now he's got a sense of this is how you can get around the courts potentially. This is how you bypass Congress. This is how you can do things quicker.
Yes, Alisa is making sense to a certain point, and this calculating the few will never accept. Before Trump coming into office, like I said at the beginning of this video, Trump knew exactly what he would do on day one. He knew exactly what he would do. He knew exactly what he would do, the first 15 days. So cackling the few, sitting here and ranting like, oh, Trump is doing this. There is nothing that is too fast. He came in with a strategy, and that's how it's supposed to be. You have limited time as president. You don't have much time there to sit and you're wasting time. Democrats don't understand. Take, for example, when Democrat came with this lawfare against Trump, that was during a presidential campaign. Biden term was almost getting over. I believe if you want to see Trump doing this, it will be now when things are so early. So if we want to drag it, we will not take to the end of his term. He understands this exactly. Reason you saw Democrat melting down everywhere, like, oh, they didn't persecute Trump. Oh, this one doesn't happen. That is what I saw. Because they didn't know how to go about certain issues. But Trump is not even doing something bad. What he's doing is what he promised. He wants to accomplish everything. Breaking the record. He's already breaking. What? The executive orders he signed on his first week, nobody has ever done that. What he has done so far is amazing. Look at his polls. You realize he is top up there. Democrats are still using the 1980 method thinking they have to stand in Congress or they will come on the street and demonstrate. That is not working. They have to change. If they don't implement new ways into all this, Democrat will keep falling behind. Or thinking, oh, we will not be on Facebook, or we will not be on Twitter. If you continue to skip this, build an ecosystem in any platform. Don't skip. If you see clips after this is just for the algorithm. It helps the channel in a way I can't explain here.
A bully and a thug who's the president of the United States, U.S., it's everywhere.
There is a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse within a system.
Audits. A chance to see what happens when you take a business approach to the government in the White House. We're seeing right now with this whole USAID thing where they're uncovering massive amounts of corruption.
And also, I got to say, don't you agree? I totally agree.
Essential.
Early on, immediately.
She's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10.
To her.
The EU does not treat the U.S. fairly on trade and that he has some big complaints. Is that true?
Right? And it doesn't mean that we should sit and pretend that it's suddenly okay, that this new presidency is just going to keep on keeping on. That is not the case. And
Awful things have happened. And sparks move things. And it doesn't matter how much water you have.
Future president and his gag
are somebody in policy.
The city of the Pacific Palisades is burning. And, I flew here last night. I was on a plane.
You getting water to areas that need...
He's been trained his whole life to do.
What do we do?
Right now you're looking straight. Remember it.
As a country about James.
Yeah, and then I think all our tax dollars probably went for Gavin's hair gel. I don't know.
Jim Jordan.
Josh Green, the governor. Watch news or talk. Now look, I have a lot of...
The Democratic Party has about everything.
The next department that appears to be on the chopping block is the Department of Education. Just earlier today...
Well, thank you. Hey, now speaking of church, can I...
In common, they're all terrified of Ronan Farrow.
Is probably one of the most unintelligent billionaires.
On Team Chiefs, literally right next to us was Taylor Swift.
In this room are some of the most important TV and film executives in the world.